So we saw earlier that this is the path to economic or financial freedom, where you initially start as a physically located worker. So you go to the office or the retail store, the restaurant, the hair salon, etc. And this is where you perform a work. So it's physically located work. And what you have to do is you have to write down on a piece of paper exactly what it is that you know that would be beneficial to somebody else. So you just write down an outline of your expertise, your procedure, the methods you're using, etc. So you write that on a piece of paper, and then the next step is you would start teaching people. So these are the different people that you would teach, and ideally it's on Zoom, but you can do it in person as well, which could be more interesting for your participants. But I guess Zoom is more convenient for everyone. So this is where you're teaching on Zoom. And if you record your Zoom session, then you can create digital products, especially video tutorials or video courses. But in this video, I want to focus on the transition from where you are right now as a worker to teaching, because it's not as simple as going from one to the next. There are a series of steps that you have to go through, and it's not as easy as you think, but it's also not as hard as you think, especially when I break down the steps, and you're going to see that it's very easy for you to go from being a physically located worker to teaching on Zoom, where you can charge potentially, hundreds of people, and you can make money from the comfort of your own home. All right, so let's take a look at the specific steps or the specific obstacles you have to overcome in order to become a virtual teacher. So here you see all the different, you see all the different steps that you have to go through. So it's very much like a stairway. And I break down because normally, it would be a huge wall and people are here. They don't see how they can cross that wall. But, I break the wall into a stairway so that you can see that it's, one step at a time. And, oh, sorry, I think I have the wrong stairway. Hold on. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so you're going from physical work to virtually teaching on Zoom, but there are a series of steps that you have to go through. So let's take a look at the first belief that is blocking you. The first belief is my knowledge is not good enough. So, for example, you might be a manager, an accountant, a graphic designer, an architect, etc. And you might say something like, my knowledge is not good enough, so I don't have any business teaching other people. A second belief, a self-limiting belief you might have, is that I'm not good at public speaking, I can't speak in public, etc. Which is really funny because every time you talk to your friends, you are speaking in public, right? I hope you're not speaking to yourself in private, so you're always speaking publicly. So this is not really a good excuse. I get nervous when I do public speaking or when I teach. Well, that's normal. Everyone gets nervous. You just get over it over time. I won't get new clients. Well, maybe, but that's not something for you to determine before you give it a try. So just start teaching and start charging people. And if nobody comes, then you can quit. But this is not a determination that you can make before you even try. So this is not a good excuse. I'm too busy. That's not a good excuse, because with Zoom, you can make a lot of money. So that's really not a valid excuse. So there could be more negative beliefs that you have to overcome. But my point here is that it's a process. It's a process where you overcome your fears, your doubts, your self-doubts, and then you get to a point where you can teach on Zoom. And when you get to that point here, that's a whole new level. Like, this is really level 2 of the game of life, the game of making money, etc. And this is level 1. So why would you accept to stay at level 1 for your whole life? You know, it's like a video game. You have to get to level 2. And then after level 2, there's level 3, where you're creating digital products, ebooks, video courses. And then there's level 4, you're creating software programs, web application. And then there's level 5, where you're creating AI agents and systems. And so I want to encourage you to attend my next Zoom webinar, where I'm going to help you to destroy all your self-limiting beliefs so that you can become a teacher and you can easily make money. I know, because I've been there. And so you don't want to stay here where you're making only 5% of your income potential. And you're making only 5% because you have only one employer, you have only one boss. The boss cannot double your income, right? But when you're teaching on Zoom, you can have hundreds and even thousands of customers. And therefore you have the power. The customer doesn't have power, because if one customer out of 1,000 leaves you, so what? You still have 999 customers. So my point is that when you become a virtual teacher on Zoom, nobody can fire you. But when you have one boss here, your boss can fire you anytime. So you are at the mercy of your boss. You have to do what pleases him. You have to suck up to him. And even if your boss is a nice guy, which could happen, you're going to feel so vulnerable. You're going to feel that you're dependent on your boss. And that's not a good feeling. You can't take vacation whenever you want to. You have to ask permission. I hate that. I left that world like 25 years ago in June 2000. So why would I want other people to stay in that world where they are restricted in terms of their freedom, their income potential? It doesn't make sense. So please, do not be a loser here, but instead try to become a teacher. Just use your mouth strategically so that you can teach other people and you can make money easily online, working from home. All right, guys, that's the video for today. If you like it, please share with your friends and family and coworkers, and I'll talk to you more in the next video.